Hello and welcome to Slamfire Radio. This is episode 516. It's 516 for July 19th, 2023. Woo! I'm one of your hosts, Adriel.
I'm another host, Mo.
And I'm another host, Kyle.
Tongue-tied Adriel.
Couldn't get that out, huh?
Just need to hammer back a couple of happy glasses of homemade wine, and
Nice.
that should sort itself out. The fluency will just happen after that. That's how it works, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Mo, why don't you start us off?
Sure. On Saturday, I went to the Montreal Skeet Club. It's the first time I had ever gone there. I'm not a member. I'm probably going to get a membership, though. It's just under 20 minutes from my house, so it's be the closest range to me. I went with my friends Gabriel and Greg, and I just checked out the place. They have a very nice clubhouse and a little shop inside. They have a bunch of skeet and trap ranges. They have a pistol and rifle range. It's pretty. It's covered. It's the shooting area is nice and covered and stuff. So it's probably be great in the winter. And right now it's only like I think it's about 70 yards, but where the berm is. But they're just waiting for approval to extend it. They're supposed to be going out to 200, so that'll be great to have that. Yeah, so that was Saturday, and then on Sunday I went to an IPSC match in Stittsville, in Ontario. It's near Ottawa, and it was supposed to rain, and it was raining when we got there, and we were just getting ready and stuff, and then the rain stopped. There was a little bit of mud to deal with, but not too bad. And but then, yeah, it wasn't raining. It was just got a little bit of humid, but that was okay. It was 7 stages, and it was a lot of fun. They always put on a really good match. And I was saying to Kyle pre-show, and then I saw some of his Instagram videos, which I'm sure he'll talk about his match. But I like stages where it forces the shooter to retreat, to go back, and I guess maybe because I don't get that too much, or we don't ever get that in Quebec. So I do like those kind of stages. And then there was
That's got to be it. You just don't get to go forward or backwards in Quebec. So anytime you can go forward or back is
yeah, it's like it's a treat, right? It's like, oh, I get to run backwards with a gun. Woo! But they were just great stages. They put on a really good match. There was one stage where we were shooting from just one box, and there was like 2 paper targets not too far away, and then there was a series of plates, and then there was a big popper. I don't know what the actual distance was. It was maybe 30 yards, but so it was a fun stage to watch people shoot and to shoot. And so that was good. I'm trying to think of what else.
How'd you do?
A little bit worse than middle of the pack, but it's interesting because I always have, and I think this is a normal thing, but I always have a couple stages where I do really well at closer to the top 5,
Mm-hmm.
and then but I can't be, I'm just not consistent, right? So it's just those couple of stages, and then the other ones are not so good. So but and then when I those stages, I know I've done well because it's just it's a smooth draw. It's the mag changes are smooth. I'm not hesitating from going from one array to the next. Like there's no fumbling at all. It's just nice and clean, and I don't get mics. I don't get deltas, right? Um, I did. Oh, I forgot to mention. I put the 8-pound spring in,
Mm-hmm.
and I had taken it to the range, and it was functioning well, so there was no issues with that. I noticed the recoil was like it wasn't flipping down, so there was that. And then in a match, I think I had less mics, and I have no idea if it was because of the recoil spring. But so I'm either going to keep going with that, or I might try the slightly heavier one, like the 10-pound one, and then give that a go. Um, but I think I've accepted. I'm only going to with IPSC. I think I'm going to be as good as I am now, and that's it. Like unless I start taking a lot more training and doing a lot more live fire practice, I can't imagine I'm ever going to get. I'm just kind of in the spot I'm in, and I just have to enjoy the sport and let it be what it is.
How
Right?
often do you dry fire?
Well, before this match, I was doing it almost every day. But lately I haven't been because I haven't had matches. It's not something I've been doing. I've been doing more like PRS dry firing than IPSC stuff. Um, but yeah, no, it's just I gotta like just accept that it's
Wow.
I'm not gonna get
Well,
it to the top five.
where
I'm
do
not
you
a
think you're losing your most time?
uh, I'm losing in the mics, and I'm losing the time in I would say in between arrays. Like I'm just maybe the foot speed or I'm not as quick as I should be. But I like it's cool. It's cool. Like
I think it's not necessarily going for speed. Like I've watched some guys and they're actually you've watched a lot of guys and they're not necessarily fast. They're smooth.
smooth. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
clean.
right.
They're not fumbling at all. Right.
Like
So
one thing from my weekend and something I gotta remember, especially like IPSC USPSA, is just slow it down and just make it smooth. I'm not gonna say slow is smooth, slow is slow, but if you go smooth and slow down, so like you're saying mics, yeah, mics will kill you, but
oh yeah, that absolutely kills me. And
yeah,
I'm
but
trying to be patient on that. I even tell myself, I remind myself, be patient on the second shot. Don't be in such a hurry. But it's easier said than done, right? When you're
But
actually
it's interesting because you mentioned that you're able to get into like when everything clicks, you're able to get into
yes,
the top five. So you've got the
yes.
skills, like you've got the skill
Yeah.
level to get there. There's just like there's some aspect of your game that like if you could unlock that consistency, it sounds like you'd be.
I'm very much in my own head.
Mhm.
I'm a classic overthinker, and so I'm very much in my own head. And even when Mike made the comment, it's a mental thing. The tiniest thing can throw off your whole stage. I'm
oh,
just remembering there was one stage where we engaged a bunch of targets left and right, and then we ran down like a hallway, right, and then we go into through a port, and there's a bunch more targets. And I remember I didn't realize that there was a barrel somewhere in there, and just the vibration of the barrel, like that hearing it vibrate just threw me off because I wasn't expecting it. It's like doom, you hear that sound, and it's like I wasn't expecting that.
are you finding you're losing your place in the stages, and it's just like
No, no,
no,
no. That you know what? That's something when I first got into IPSC and the memory stages and things like that. Yeah, that's something that I struggled a little bit with. But now, no. Once I have a stage plan, I generally don't. Sometimes I do an extra reload that I wasn't planning on doing. It's like, I'm not this first array and a half, I'm not going to do a reload, but then when I get here, I'm going to do it. And then sometimes I mess that up. But in terms of, I'm never at a point where I'm a deer in the headlights and I'm in between and I'm like, not where I generally know where I'm going. So
yeah.
and even the order of, like left to right, right, up and down, whatever, like I generally have it in my head already, how I'm going to engage those targets. So it's not oh, where am I going next? Like I already have it in
Mhm.
my head. So that's something I worked on, like, the memorization and repeating it over, like as I'm getting ready for the stage. So it's not that. So
Okay. I was just wondering because, I know when I have my smoothest stages, it's usually when I'm taking the time behind the line, no matter how simple the stage, and I'm walking, eyes closed,
mm,
walking the stage, have it visualized, and I'm going through the entire stage, and I could basically shoot it with my eyes closed because I know
mhm,
exactly what I'm doing every step of the way. I find that's when I have my smoothest stages, and my smoothest stages end up being my better stages.
mhm. Yeah, absolutely. I think that was it. I think that was it for the match. Did I have anything else? Uh, no, I think that's it. How about you, Kyle?
I shot our local USPSA match on Saturday, and it was a good day. And I shot much better than I have been. So, and as I was saying a little bit during your segment, I felt slow. Like I felt like I had really slowed it down. My first stage of the day, I was actually really incredible. I got like 19 Alpha, 1 Charlie, and that happened to be the stage that they had put the Death Star on. So the Death Star made its debut down here, and they decided to throw it for a pistol target, which they're a little mean, but okay. And first stage of the day, and I somehow I ended up clearing the Death Star just shot for shot. Did Death Star didn't even really get much chance to spin. It just swung back and forth a couple times. So I ended up with an overall stage win by over 25% on that one. And for the most part, everything else went really good. We had one stage where you were talking about moving back, and I'm generally not a fan of like 100% retreating stages, but this one was actually pretty good. It had a really nice flow to it, felt really good, and really didn't feel like it was out of place or that you were actually retreating. I guess maybe part of it was just only doing one reload on it, but yeah, I did have one stage that totally, well, it knocked me down a few spots for the overall, and it was a short little 10 target stage. So we had to start with empty gun on the table and pick it up, get into the shooting area, and then it was one shot per target, and they were kind of in behind barrels, so you had to move maybe a grand total of like a 10-inch square with your feet just to get all the targets. And on the first target, I had a failure to extract.
Oh.
So of course, tap rack. Now you got double feed, rip the mag, rack, throw it in, and still ended up with a good time on it. But my shooting got sloppy because I was just trying to race to pick it up. Like I think I ended up ended up 13 seconds flat on that stage with the malfunction. I think the fastest time was something like 11 seconds on it. But I also had dropped 2 targets on that stage. So I did the what if game on practice score. And
yes.
But if I had gotten an Alpha and a Charlie on those 2 targets, because I think I had only, besides the 2 mics, I only had 1 Charlie and the rest were Alphas on that, and knocked it down to, say, 11 seconds. And yeah, I would have been second place, down by like 5% on the day. But in the end, I was still able to.
I had shot perfectly, and everyone else shot the same. I would have won.
Oh,
yeah,
9. Yeah. But I ended up still taking an overall win in limited. Cool. It was very close by like 0.4%. But I'll definitely take that, considering I'm shooting minor and he was shooting major. So
okay.
And I'm shooting my 3-gun pistol, so it's 9mm. But it was overall fun day, fun match.
How many USPSA matches have you done so far?
I've actually done quite a few. Let's see. I got my practice score up already, actually, or still. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I've done about 5.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
And you've obviously done IPSC matches. So
I've done a few, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you really like about? Forget about mag capacity.
Yeah.
What do you really like about USPSA versus IPSC?
2 things, and it's not mag capacity, but my mags. The limited doesn't need to fit in a box, so even if I was running 10 rounders, I could still run my 140mm mags, which means it's not like flush with the mag well.
Okay.
I could also put on like the big Limcat mag well, the cheater mag well on it if I wanted to, because it doesn't have to fit in a box for USPSA.
Okay.
And another one is our match was a lot of just like shooting positions, but if they have it all, USPSA, you can cut around walls. You can, however, which way you want to make your way through the stage, you can. You just got to be within the fault lines to shoot.
Yeah. So you can cut through. You can
make
shortcuts.
Yeah, they're fault lines, not travel lines.
Yes.
So those are 2 things that I actually really like about USPSA over IPSC.
Is there something you don't like?
I don't like the fact that it doesn't follow IPSC, because it's supposed to be IPSC for the US. So now if I were to ever go to Worlds or something, it would be a whole lot of adjustment on that to go shoot an IPSC match.
Okay.
To shoot, right? So the things I like about USPSA over IPSC are the same things I don't like about USPSA over IPSC if I were to go shoot competitively internationally.
Okay. That makes sense.
But yeah, so, and like I was saying earlier, like that, I felt like I was going pretty slow most of the day, but it was just smooth. I definitely could have gone faster, but I was trying not to rush through everything. Yeah.
Awesome.
And Crystal's getting more and more comfortable with the gun, and she's getting better and better. Her accuracy is on point. We just got to speed her up now.
Okay. And she's enjoying it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's the right order to go. Accuracy first, then speed. 'Cause
Yes.
If you go fast, it's no good.
Missed fast. Yeah.
And then Saturday night, our action shooting club ended up sending a few of us to an NRA banquet here in town. So that was a cool experience, put on by friends of the NRA, and it basically, they had a bunch of little games, like raffle games, raffles, like a live auction, silent auction, steak dinner, and lots of guns. They were giving away lots of guns. I didn't win a single one.
Oh.
In fact, the best I got was I bought $100 mug that gave me entry into a draw. It was like only 50 of them available. First one drawn could pick from any prize on the, well, not prize, any item off the auction, the live auction table. Like there was South African hunts there, Argentina hunts.
Oh,
They had
wow.
a Barrett 50 cal sitting there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there was some goods there, and but yeah, that's all I got from the evening. But it was still fun. Good time out. My new holster for my Taurus came in, so it's a Taurus holster pistol, but crossbreed Rogue system.
Crossbreed. Okay.
I'm surprised you're not wearing it. You're just like, here's my new holster. Whoosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to play around with it.
Okay.
I can't. We've always heard the crossbreed. I've never actually felt their holsters, and for the first instincts or impression, I don't like the belt clips. They look so cheesy. Like they're just thin metal, and they're just. So luckily I have other clips that I might change out, but one nice thing is they sent an extra one, so if I wanted to, I could separate the sidecar and run, like, say, 2 clips on the pistol and run it separate from the mag, so they wouldn't have to be right together, which I could see a benefit for, and it'd just be nicer for carrying. But yeah, I do some playing around and tweaking and figure out exactly how I want to set it up. But yeah, that came in yesterday. And yeah, well, I'm on the show right now because my truck broke down. So unfortunately, yeah, from what I can see so far, it spun the upper timing chain on the passenger side for the camshaft. So yeah, that's a big job and not something that was able to get done before I was due to leave this morning for Multi-Gun Nationals. So truck didn't get done, so now I'm here on the show. But there is a all classifier match in Roswell, and they've picked all older classifiers, so there shouldn't be an issue with uploads, because even like from our all classifier match we held here last month, they still not, something's screw with the system where it's not accepting the newest classifiers from practice core or something. But so if my truck's not ready to go and I can't take the work truck, we do have a ride up to Roswell on Saturday to go shoot their classifier match. So go up there and finally get a classification, even though it's not anywhere where I want to be, because classifier stages suck. I'd much prefer to do it off match performance, but that's so we got. It's just so I find it hard to move up in classification on classifier stages. But I'll probably end up being
that on the Practical Shooting podcast just recently.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a good listen.
I'll have to give it a listen, but yeah, that's my personal thing. I think I'm limited. I'm probably going to end up being a C class after Saturday, and if I decide to shoot my carry optics, I'll probably be a B or a C on that as well. So, but we'll see. I've got 2 classifiers, so if they do 6 all classifier stages, yeah, it'll be enough to get classified, and even if I do really good, bump 1 or 2 bad ones off. So, other than that, that is it for me. How about you, Adriel?
Oh, a couple things. Went to Kananaskis, did a double header. Fantastic. Oh man, that club down there. They got about 400 members. They filled both days. So I did a double header. They filled both days with just members. So like 10% of their club went to that Mapleseed, and they could have done more. They sold out of both in like a day. So
Nice.
yeah, I think we're gonna have to do some more down there. And they were like super inviting. They had like some really great like target stands. They do a bunch of IPSC down there, so like they had IPSC target stands, and they had like normally like in the morning we do our like what is Mapleseed, and we do a safety brief, and like we have our safety brief. I'm like, okay, do your safety brief. It's exactly the same as every other safety brief you heard. So it's like super well put together, super well organized. Loved it. And the like the area is fantastic too. You're like shooting into a mountain, and there's like a big mountain like looming kind of in the corner there. So really picturesque. And yeah, decent weather on both days. A little bit warm day 1 when it got to about 28, but still not too bad. And day 2 is 24. I think no, sorry, other way around. For day 1 was 24 and a bit hazy from the smoke. So the smoke like kept the sun from beating down on us. Day 2 was a little bit more sunny. Not really much rain on the other day. So yeah, really nice. Got a couple of riflemen, a bunch of kids came out. Kids had a blast. Oh yeah, loved it. And then just camped at Sibbald Flats, which is kind of like about 30 minutes away. So, and with no cell reception, so like right in the mountains there.
Roughing it.
Really roughing it, yeah. But no, we're in Tom's trailer there, so we were really roughing it. I ordered a bunch of stuff this week, so I've been just looking at like, yeah, I should do that. Yeah, I should do that. So finally, I'm doing it. Inner Surplus. I found they had the right diameter Carcano bullets. Ordered 200 of those. Already have them. So those are the .268 or .267. I might try .264 bullets in my Carcanos, just see if they'll spin them. Because if they do, that's the same thing as my 6.5 Creedmoor, right? So it might be easier to get bullets for. And I've got a bunch of them too. So if I could, I will. I also, along the Carcano length there, I ordered the proper sized full length sizer for the Carcano, plus the neck sizer for my 303 Enfield. So 303 Enfield, like the cases grow a ton, and if you just full length size them every time, they get case head separation bad really quick. So I'm gonna try neck sizing just so I don't have to do that.
What about annealing?
Well, that'll help at the shoulder, but where they weaken is down at the bottom near the base, and you can't anneal that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you anneal the shoulder for like work hardening and all that kind of stuff. But no, I'm gonna just try neck sizing them just so that's just try to get a couple more reloads through it. And then I've had the same pair of. Let's see if I can get them out here. Same pair of Aegis Echoes for a year and a half, 2 years, and they're pretty ratchet now. They're like all the rubber at the ends there is all like
nice
falling off yet, and like they're not the most clear anymore, but they've been run hard. I shoot a bit. I'm on the range for a couple days a year, so treat myself right. So 9/11 Supply had some for a decent price, so I ordered some from them. They're just in Calgary. That should be here, I don't know, soon. What else did I do? Just taking the next steps to becoming a RPAL instructor. So
nice.
that program. So I'm doing some of my applications and my CPIC and my vulnerable sector check and blah blah blah, all the same stuff.
You've been thinking about that for a while, or is this a new?
Yeah, I meant to apply last year, but then like I sold my house and a bunch of other stuff got in the way, so I couldn't. But this year, like I'm in my house and I don't. There's no big changes, so yeah, did the application, and yeah, looks like I'll do the course in October if everything lines up here. So that'll be cool.
Okay.
Right on.
Yeah. And
That's
then this
great.
weekend, I'm gonna go camping, and then the weekend after, we've got the Sherwood Park 3-gun match that I'm gonna be MDing at, match directing.
Mhm.
So I've got the stages all designed out for that. I am maximizing reuse of props because I don't want to spend a lot of time resetting. Just want to rebuild. I want the stage rebuild because it's just one bay, right? So since it's one bay, I just want to like change a couple things. Okay, let's go. Shoot it another way, and
Okay.
and just get as many rounds downrange as possible. And then I got a special purchase today.
Oh, what's that?
You guys might. It's a neck gaiter, just to keep the sun off me. It's gray, so it matches my my other. No, it's a CZ Bren 2 MS.
Oh, that.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, that's a little bit more interesting than the neck gaiter, eh?
Yes, a little.
Yeah, just a little bit different. Yeah, so this came in the mail yesterday. And it is, so this is one of the Marstar ones, the 11 inches that they rebarreled. So it did come with the factory barrel, the 11-inch, and it's got the flash suppressor on it, which I'll have to spin on the end of this one. And it's also got a very short fore-end because it is that 11-inch one. But a couple of neat things about it. It's kind of like the stock is kind of like the Magpul Zhukov stock. So you can adjust the length of pull. It has a very nice folding to it, and it does lock onto that little plastic nub on the side there.
Okay.
Comes out, no wiggle at all. Keep in mind, like these things are to get the converted ones in Canada, $3,700. So it's not a value priced rifle at all.
No.
The controls are pretty good, very AR-ish. So we've got a side charge non-reciprocating handle here. You can pull that back. Magazine release is right there, just as you would expect it. It's ambi, so if you want to, you can press the left side to pull it out. It's got a standard bolt hold open like an AR, so you can press it there to hold it to open it up, or you use the bad lever, and the bad lever is right there. So you press down right there, and it goes forward, or you can press it up and lock it open, and probably get DQ'd if you're actually shooting this in a match, right? Like I'm pretty sure either locking it open or going like that to drop the bolt, either of those is going to get you DQ'd in a match if you do it. And even if it doesn't get you DQ'd, if you press that down, you're so close to that trigger that you're in some danger there, I think.
Yeah.
It's not like the bad lever where you can just swipe it to the side. You have to actually put your finger in the trigger guard
Yeah.
that bad boy. Yeah. So
nice for locking open. I don't know if I'd use it to close it.
you can just use the ping pong paddle, right? It's not a ping pong paddle, but you can pull this back and press the bottom of the ping pong paddle, and that holds it open just fine. Or you can slap the ping pong paddle as well, just to drop it. So it does have that AR familiarity. Safety, same place, but it is it's a little bit stiff because there's a lot of plastic on this rifle, and it's a 45, not a 90 degree. So it's
nice.
A quick little guy. And I do like that it's small because when I'm using my trigger finger here, I don't like a big control in the way of my finger. And this one is not. And it is on, like, that's why I pull off the ambies on like WK 180s or WS MCRs. I pull off this one so it doesn't get in the way of my trigger finger. Some good things on it, like it's got a QD cup there, mash hook there, and then mash hook there as well. So that's where you would attach your sling. You could use an HK or the mash hook to grab on there. I would have liked to see a QD cup on the front somewhere here. This one at the back of the receiver, that's what you'd use for like a single point sling, just to kind of have it like hang right about here. But if you've got one at the back, there should be one at the front, like a corresponding one, so you can have it sit across you. But keeping in mind that this is a pistol. This in the US, this is a pistol that they sell it as, right? 11-inch barrel. They don't sell it with this stock. So maybe that's why they don't have that. Because why would you put a QD push cup on a pistol forend.
Is that M-lock on the front there?
Yes, it is. Yeah, M-lock
So-
right there and there. You could put a cup there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very easily. Because this is a conversion. So this is an 11-inch, was 11-inch, but now it's got an 18.5-inch barrel. I'm curious if the gas is going to be spicy on this thing because there's only really like your number 1 setting, number 2, and 0. So 0 is going to be gas off. Number 1 is going to be normal operation. Number 2 is going to be it's all credit up. I would need like a 0.5 or something like that for this, I think, because there's going to be a ton more gas coming back. That bullet is going to be traveling down here, and that gas pressure is going to be pressing on that piston the whole time that bullet's going out. So there's a lot more time to press that thing back. So I'm curious how far into the next province it throws the brass. We'll put it that way. Yeah. But the thing that really strikes me about it is how much plastic is on this thing and how much it is. So this stock, all 100% plastic, very lightweight, like honeycomb plastic. You see on the bottom there, see these like lugs? That's for the stock adjustment, right? It just kind of clicks into these square lugs. I don't really like it because if you use this at all with any frequency, you're gonna like wear out those lugs and you're just gonna start getting some slop in there. But I mean, if you just run it at max length, maybe that isn't such a big concern. The entire lower is plastic. So plastic grip, plastic magwell, plastic trigger, plastic controls, plastic on everywhere on the bottom of this thing. The grip is not an AR grip. It's a little bit thinner. So quite a bit thinner up here. There's the standard AR grip kind of as a comparison. And this thing is a little bit small for my hands. Quite small for my hands. Just I envelop the thing. And yeah, I was just showing the guys here before we had started that the disassembly to take it apart is pretty quick. So there's one pin right there. I can pull that there, and then this just kind of lower just kind of comes right off, right? So there's the lower. Pretty simple.
How big is that rear lug on that?
That big? Can you see that? That big?
Okay.
Yeah. Big enough that I don't think it's going to run into any issues. And it grabs into like a recess right there on the stock, and then a front pin kind of right there. So I think that's going to be fine. And there's the spring and guide rod right there, if you're curious. The action, it's like you can hear the spring moving, but it's actually super smooth. You can't feel the bolt like locking into the receiver. It just slides right in there. Feels great. And then just pop that back on, push that pin back in, and that's all she wrote about that. So I'll be doing a more full review on my website and YouTube channel. I won't get to shoot it this weekend, but next weekend at that 3-gun match, I will. So I'm gonna have to take it to the range sometime during the week. Shoot it, get it sighted in, get some rounds through it, see what it's like, and and then shoot it at that match. So I'm looking forward to it. It does sit like Kyle was noticing there that it looks like the receiver sits a little bit higher than on the barrel than an AR. It doesn't feel top heavy. I think I'm gonna need to run like a lower optic because like it's not like a straight line recoil. You get your head quite a bit down there, so I think I'm gonna need to run like a low mount red dot on there. But that's fine. I got some of those.
Okay.
If it wasn't CZ, I'd say it should be cheaper because $3,700 for like this much plastic. The AR 180B, like that lower is all plastic, and that one sold for under $1,000 when they're selling it in Canada initially. I think the initial price was like $7 something when Wolverine was first bringing them in, and no one wanted them because just use an AR, right? But this is decidedly higher quality than the AR 180B. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. We'll have to see how it runs at the range. But I expect 100% reliability. I expect with that conversion that it's going to rocket the brass into the next county, and I don't know. Should be a good go fast gun. I'll try not to get DQ'd. I'm going to use the paddle instead of the inside the trigger the
That's
DQ
smart.
button. Yeah,
It's probably a good idea. Yeah.
yeah. I think that thing would just get me DQ'd. But no, overall, pretty cool rifle. Pretty cool rifle. Yeah,
Awesome. Can't wait to see the review.
should be good. All right, let's get into upcoming events. Right now, we're looking at the CFS Nationals in Bill Bramley Challenge in Grand Prairie. That's July 20th to 23rd. Information's on Facebook or contact the range for that. There's also going to be a bullseye shoot at Wapiti Shooters Club. Wapiti Shooters Club.
Okay.
July 20th, 7 to 9 p.m. That'll be 22 caliber, rimfire at 60, centerfire, and 17 at 100. There's going to be a Chaz Family Day open house on July 22nd. That's this weekend. Details on that are on Facebook. Mapleseed events are all up on the website. I think we got some Atlantic ones coming up that aren't sold out. So if you've been looking for a Mapleseed and you're in like PEI in New Brunswick or something like that, check it out. We've also got events in Grand Prairie and northern Alberta and BC that are on there. So check those out. There are ORA events coming up in practice score, so look for them on there. And let's get into the news. No news this week.
There was one little bit of news
Mm-hmm.
for anybody who remember Shooting USA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Jim Scouten, the old man host of that show, he unfortunately passed earlier this week.
Mhm.
So for any gunny who's used that shows, I remember I never watched it religiously, but always ended up watching it, and definitely a big name in the gun world. So
Absolutely.
All right. Next thing up here, the SBI Links 180 match lower giveaway. Got a couple more entries on this. So SBI has donated a Links 180 match lower to give away. It's one that I used for a review. The way you get in for entries is you send a screenshot of your donations to the CCFR. For every $20 donated, you get one entry. And you can also get another entry by taking a picture of yourself with a gun on Instagram and tagging Slamfire Radio's Instagram for another entry. Contest closes August 1st, which is coming up soon, and we'll be announcing the winner on August 2nd. Let's get into new gun stuff. New gun stuff is brought to you by Bullseye North. Need a new boomstick? Bullseye North is Canada's shooting superstore and a proud supporter of the CCFR. With a wide selection of guns and top trending gear for any shooter. Free shipping over $200. Some exclusions apply, like ammo. Subscribe to their weekly newsletter to get first access to the hottest deals. And the first one that they have that I wanted to share, let me share my screen. And no, not that one. They have Kel-Tec Sub 2000s for $8.99, and there's free shipping. So that's $8.99 to your door plus tax.
nice.
I like it.
There's the one that takes Glock mags. I kind of want one, but you guys told me I'm not allowed to get one until I
That's right.
Bubba fuck my my high point, I think is the proper terminology, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll have to do that, and then I can buy the Kel-Tec, the Sub 2000, get that full.
Seems fair.
Kelly wanted one. We're showcasing it. A British 3.7-inch howitzer. She asked for one for the next show, and she didn't even show up.
Oh,
Yep.
Kelly.
You can click a larger image there, and it brings it up.
It's got new tires. It's got a new coat of paint.
Oh, new
on it.
tires. Nice.
And it's live. It's not D-mill. It's fully functioning.
Awesome.
You just need some 3.7-inch howitzer shells. Those
Yeah.
are probably prohibited in Canada, aren't they?
I think they just squeak into the prohib market.
Just over that muzzle energy, probably. Hey,
Yeah.
oh man. Maybe you get away with it.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, they said, what was it, 20 millimeters? It's just over. Like, come on, guys.
Oh, what about this? What about this one? The anti-tank rocket launcher.
There you go. Hey, that's only 475 pounds.
That's a bargain.
Yeah.
They got a pack 35. Wait, get out of the way, you stupid thing. Oh, they're gonna pack 35. Oh, replica. Oh, what is this? PVC? Okay, I'm not looking at this stuff anymore. Anyways, Kelly, there's your howitzer. Cabela's. This is actually one that Tony found. They've got the Packed Club Shot Timer 3 for $199. I thought I got one of these for $125 back in the day, but then I looked at it. I got it back for $125 US back in the day.
Oh yeah, okay.
So this is
Makes
not
sense.
a bad price for a very easy to use shot timer. No thinking. Put it on your belt. Hit the big green button. Start timing yourself. Zero thinking required. Although you like, because there's zero thinking required, this thing's missing some features on some of their timers because it's got fewer buttons. So like, I think the par timer is limited to like, I don't know, 99 seconds or 199 or something silly like that. Like, it's not fully customizable. But I would argue that most people don't need a fully customizable timer.
That's only 99 seconds.
I don't know if it's 99 or 199 or what the case is. It has some par limitation on it. I've never run into it because why would I set a par time on that thing when I'm timing myself? I don't need to par myself out.
Yeah. Just if you're using it for like a club match or something, then you might need to.
I don't know. I just look at the timer. Stop. You're over time. Timed out. You're done. Easy enough. Anyways, they got those at Cabela's. They also have the Stevens 320 security thumb hole pump action shotgun. If you want the dumbest stock on a security shotgun, they've got those. This one's probably a little bit more interesting. They have a Savage Mark II FV heavy barrel bolt action rifle with AccuTrigger. They've got the 22 and they've got the 17 HMR as well. Okay. For a fairly decent price, $329. So a little bit heavier, a little bit more accurate. Also in the no one asked for that, Inner Surplus has the insert for 12 gauge to make it into 20.
Actually, that would be handy for sporting clays. I mean, a full tube would be better because you have sub gauge events.
Oh,
so you have your main event, so you can shoot your 12 gauge, and then you go do your 50 bird sub gauge event. Just toss that in there, and you're shooting a 12 gauge choke with 20 gauge, but you can shoot the sub gauge event then.
Yeah, what's that 12 gauge choke going to do with your 20 gauge?
Just toss your full in there.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay. I never thought about it that way.
The cheapest way to go do your sub gauge event, $25.
$25, yeah, to go from 12 to 20 gauge. That is very inexpensive.
All right, there you go.
Yeah. Anyways, Inner Surplus has those. You know, the other thing that Inner Surplus has that I found interesting. Imagine you wanted like a low recoiling hunting rifle and you didn't need to go very far. You want something like a little bit classy. What about a Swedish M96 Sporter in 6.5 by 55? So these are like M96 Mausers.
Yeah.
6.5 by 55, plenty for deer, moose, like that kind of thing, in a nice, classy, like sporterized military rifle.
Isn't this one of the ones that they tried to ban?
Well, Mauser, yeah. Yeah, Mausers were on the list. I don't know if the M96
but, I mean,
was.
Be cool round to shoot. I don't know how much of it's around. Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's basically the same ballistics as 6.5 Creedmoor, just in a longer cartridge. Yeah, a little bit more of a classy rifle. I don't know if I'd keep that scope on there, but that's looking pretty neat. Yeah. And you'd probably want to do something with that butt pad as well there. But
clean that up a bit.
What's the comparison on here? What's a Savage Access go for right now? Five.
Yeah, I was gonna say in the 5s. Yeah,
that's $369. Okay, what's the Access XP go for? $630.
Yeah.
So as an inexpensive, like short range rifle, fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
Fantastic. $295. Oh, they did some weird woodworking on that one.
Interesting.
Yeah. What about this one here? Ooh, that one looks good. That one's got the old-timey ventilated vulcanized rubber butt pad there. Looks like a nice cheek piece there.
Yeah.
It's a classy gun. Very classy. Let's shoot one of those.
Whoa, how much was that? Was that $75 that I see there?
Which one?
That Husqvarna.
No, it was $275.
275. Okay, I missed a number.
75 is still
I glanced. I saw 75. I'm like, what?
Adriel would have ordered 3 already.
I don't know, at 275.
They'd be
I'm
out of
kind of looking
stock.
at that. Being like, maybe I'll just put that on the wall. Like, have a Mauser. It's too bad they don't have any unsporterized ones, because an unsporterized Mauser in 6.5 by 55 would be cool as hell. But yeah, mostly sporters. Oh, 260. This thing's got to be horrible. It's just refinished weird. It looks like the craftsman that made the stock was, maybe into the wine a little bit.
The homemade wine. Yeah.
It was
Timney. Some of these
artistic.
have Timney triggers or like adjustable triggers too.
Well, yeah,
They must have had like an aftermarket for it.
The first trigger that Timney built was for the Mauser.
Okay.
Yeah, for coming back from the war, guys were using their rifles back home and wanted better triggers, so that's where Timney got its start.
This would be a cool gun. Oh, I don't like that 90-degree bolt though, but this would be cool. A cool like hunting rifle, right? A target rifle with like nice diopter sights on it. Some more Huskies, Husqvarna, Carl Gustavs, Antonio Zoli, 1900.
Ooh.
Anyways, if you're looking for like a really cheap short-range hunting rifle, I would get one of those for sure. Frontier Firearms, they have some European coach guns. They just got a new batch brought in, starting at $299. So if you're looking for like a side-by-side, and not only starting, but like they still have some of those at $299. They're dark, a little bit rusty or grody looking, but they have some other ones for $399. They're $450 is about as expensive as they get. So if you want like an exposed hammer or not exposed, an internal hammer, side by side coach gun, they got them. Frontier Firearms. Reliable Gun has their July semi-monthly sale. It's like, I don't know, I guess we'll have a sale. Oop, I clicked through there. They've got the Remington 870 Express. I don't know, Remington still made shotguns. I guess someone's making them. Remington 870 TAC 14, little bird's head shotgun. Canuck over 100 shotguns are on sale. They've got the H&K USC. That's in 45 ACP. And a variety of other stuff. Ooh, that's a good price on Aguila. $4.69 for a box of Aguila. Super extra. That is very decent. Was that 9 cents? 8 cents around? Oh, Rimfire. Copper-coated lead hollow point. $4.49. Even better. Red Hill Tactical holsters and mag pouches, 50% off.
Woohoo! That is good.
Nice.
Okay, I'm gonna look at that afterwards. Not on the air. Not on the air. Dominion Outdoors, because what'll happen. I'll find something that's good, and I'll be like, I'm gonna buy that, and I'll forget, and they'll come back, and some listener will have like scooped it out.
Scooped it up, yeah.
They gotta find it. They gotta find it on their own. Dominion Outdoors just got a restock of Armageddon gear. That's like shooting bags and that kind of thing for PRS and CRPS and all that kind of stuff. Very expensive rifle cases. The Armageddon gear, big ass fat bag Ranger.
It's big.
228.
It's
Sticky
big.
Pint. The pint size game changer, and so on and so forth.
Lots of bags.
There we go. Squishy bag. Yes, lots of bags. Tenda's got the Henry. They've got a bunch of Henry lever action rifles in new and in stock. I think some of these are I think some of these are very stupid to be selling in Canada. I don't know who's going to be buying some of these things. Maybe Americans, maybe Canadians who want to be Americans, but they've got the Henry American Farmer Tribute Edition. Why the hell do we have this in Canada? American farmers feeding the world. You want to have that on the side of your gun in Canada?
Yeah, that's odd. That is odd, yeah.
Or just farmers feeding the world. Nope, American farmers feeding the world.
Interesting.
That's going to be on the side of your gun. In celebration of those who feed the world, Americans. Not us.
Not us.
No, we don't do that here. And then the other one they had, they got another American one here. The American Rodeo Tribute.
Oh.
Okay, I don't see anything that says America. It just says cowboy up on it. That's acceptable. I
Okay.
need to see the other side. Wait, I need to see the other
Cowboy
side.
up. Okay. Okay.
Does the other side say, okay, rodeo tribute? This one doesn't have anything about America on it. This one would be okay if you wanted something for like a cowboy or like a rancher kind of a gun.
Okay.
That one's okay. Anyways, so they have silly versions and non-silly. Firefighters.
Oh wow. Okay.
The ambulance. Do they have one for the true heroes, the digital marketers? Do they have us? Do they have a rifle for that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just these firefighters.
Or the people in the
ambulance.
auto business. Yeah.
Yeah. Corpse car over here, just like driving dead bodies around. They get a rifle. Why don't? Where's the
the real heroes?
It's not a slam fire unless it makes them listening.
I'm in Zoom meetings all day. Does that make me a hero?
I think so.
Yeah.
They should have Zoom hero on there. Be like some guy who's just like, oh, and like they should be like, this meeting could have been an email. Like that goes on the side there. The true heroes that sit through the meeting and are probably browsing Reddit on the side or whatever, right?
All sorts of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going on here. Listener feedback. I don't think we got any. Oh, we do have an email there. These are new, right? All right. Cool.
Yeah, I could take the first one.
Go ahead.
I'm new to the gun game. Been buying rifles based on fun factor as much as purpose. Can't try anything out around my area, so I have been just buying stuff. Been happy with most of my caliber gun choices so far, except 5.56. I got a Templar 5.56 for coyotes/fun. I find it very heavy, and I'm looking to get the same type of gun but lighter. Looking at a Lockhart Raven or an SBI Lynx 180 build. I don't want to sacrifice reliability, but can't bring myself to spend $5,000 on the Bren 2. Looking for hands-on advice. Thanks, Jeff.
3,700. And I think like the real question is like, how many rounds are you going to put through it? Just coyotes?
Yeah.
Oh, he says he got a Templar 5.56 for coyotes and fun.
Yeah.
I find it heavy. I'm looking to get the same type of gun, but lighter. I mean, this thing's pretty light. I don't think it's very heavy. That's because it's like the 11-inch and there's like no long forend on it. That's 3,700. It's not 5K. I think the B&T would be around that 5K mark.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Price,
Yeah.
Sorry, Jeff. There's no good options here. We have only bad options.
Only bad options or expensive options.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
For
pretty
a
much.
coyote or around the ranch, what about an X95? What about a
Well, you said
IWI?
good options. Bullpups I don't think are good.
I love them for a farm gun. Yeah. Getting in and out of a truck.
Oh yeah, they would be good for that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Not great for like racing off things.
Hating on bullpups.
Yeah, but if I had a farm and I wanted to shoot coyotes and they were like when I shot coyotes, I had to like hop out of my truck and make a shot, I'd get a bullpup. Nice and small, takes up less space in the truck, not a lot of like length to get like hung up on doors or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what bullpups are for. Bullpups are for mobile troops who are like in vehicles or tanks or whatever. That's where they're best applied to.
Mm-hmm.
Not for accuracy, not for reloads, but you don't need those for coyote shooting. Maybe like an RDB, maybe a Type 97. Those would both be okay.
Yeah.
RDB probably before the Type 97, just a little bit more ergonomic.
Sad you gotta get to that point now. There's no other options for it, but you're right. Like
the Lockhart might be it. It might be it, but TBD.
Yeah.
A brand new rifle, and brand new rifles are always going to have some sort of teething problems. So don't buy that if you're not willing to sacrifice reliability. I think the best buyers for the Lockhart right now are the people who like know guns really well, had an AR before, and can give good feedback to them so that they make that gun better. And then everyone else can get a better gun on Gen 2.
Good point.
So I don't know, Jeff. I don't know if we have a good option there. We talked about 223 rifles, though, just recently here. 180 alternatives, what those were. Tony was saying SU-16 for ultra lightweight and low round count. Yeah, an SU-16 would be fine for a low round count. I wouldn't want to run like thousands of rounds through it and break the receiver, but they are very nice and low weight. And then both Tony and Mike are saying that bolts are breaking at the moment for the Ravens, and Gen 2 bolts are coming. So yeah, see, if you wait for Gen 2, because most everything else on those guns looks pretty good. So if the bolts are all they need to do to fix it, okay, that's fine. Kyle, did you want to take the second email?
Sure. Hello, Slamfire crew. Was wondering if anyone ran into the similar issue that my WK180 is having. Got my WK last summer, never had an issue. This winter, it started to have light primer strikes and rode it off to the cold. And now it is having bolt cycling issue like crazy. Can't make it 5 rounds without the bolt not closing properly. Sometimes it gets stuck halfway, 3/4, or just stays open a hair and causes a light primer strike. I've noticed that my magazines have wear marks from what I'm assuming the bolt. When you feed it in round by a hand, it does have issues. Or it does not have issues, sorry. Gotta learn to read tonight. Only when a mag is inserted. I'm using PMag Gen 2, Gen 3, and my cross mags. This gun don't like anything. Sitting here at the range wishing I had brought my SKS at this point. At least it runs. Any thoughts, lady and gentlemen? Should I reach out to Kodiak Defense or sand off the top of the mags? Thanks, Cody. Get rid of plastic mags and buy metal mags. Yeah,
that's one option. Try that and see if it helps. Or just like go ask one of your buddies who has an AR or WK180 to try his mags and see if they work.
As far as feeding issues on the couple WKs I shot, they were always due to plastic mag. Whether you were pressed up against a barricade or it slightly over inserted, as soon as I switched to metal mag, like a Beowulf or something, problem gone. You could lean on that mag and it didn't over insert. You could lean on the front of it up against a barricade, didn't have a failure to feed. Plus, with those feed lips, you can tune them.
Mm-hmm. You can only tune the plastic ones one way. They don't go back.
Yeah. That's my recommendation. Just ditch the plastic.
I need more information because like the bolt cycling issues, that could be short stroking. It could be like it's not cycling all the way, and when it goes forward, it's misfeeding because it just gets back just behind that rim, and then it goes to push it, and it's got like no oomph to like ram it forward. So it might be that could be caused by a number of things. It could be caused by a lack of lubrication. It could be caused by needs of cleaning. The carbon buildup in the gas block might be there. It could be caused by the gas block being loose and not. Oh, he says he sent a photo with the email.
He did, yeah.
Oh, what's the photo look like?
It's bolt out of battery.
What's that? It's bolt out of battery.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't tell us. That doesn't tell us. Well, okay, that's picked up the round and it's just sitting there. Oh, why is it sitting there? How smooth is it when you run the bolt with nothing in it? With nothing in it at all? Because like that, if it got to that point, I would assume it's got enough to like lock in there. But maybe like the spring's bound up on it or something like that, or maybe the guide rod's not smooth. Because if it's smooth, it should just schlick into place, right? It should just glide right in there. Especially when the round is like that. What would be stopping that bolt from going all the way forward? Shouldn't be anything. Very smooth, no issues until the mag is inserted. Oh, well,
okay.
Maybe the mags are sitting too high in there then. That's possible. It's entirely possible that maybe the mag catch is in the wrong spot and it's letting that mag like ride against the bolt, and that's causing the friction from getting it to. So I would contact Kodiak then. Mag over insertion, it could be mag over insertion. But at the same time, that should be a code. Yeah, especially that second photo where it's like it's just sitting there, not moving forward. That's really weird because the round isn't holding it back. It's something else. Maybe the mag's over inserted, or maybe it's just not cut in the right spot.
Well, does it look to you that bolt is forward? I mean, it shouldn't be at that point, but it almost looks like it's forward in its lock position.
No, it looks long enough. It looks like it's sitting out. Here, let me just share my screen for the second photo here. Because it's out. If it was locked in, the bolt lugs would be pretty tight.
Well, what I was thinking, like, I mean, it's easy
Maybe
to
it
tell,
got
but if
out.
that breech pin broke or something, because it just seemed long out of the bolt there, the bolt carrier.
Oh, well, the other thing that can keep that wouldn't do every 5 shots though. If it was
No.
if every shot it was like that, I would say that pin, the extractor pin, is loose. That's another thing to take a look at, because the extractor pins on these things aren't peened in, and they can work themselves loose and then cause a jam like that. And then it just can't recover though.
Well, it doesn't go into full lock. Yeah.
No, it can't. It just sits there because that pin keeps it. But
yeah, and as I'm saying, I realize how dumb my comment was. So,
but like,
disregard my previous comment.
like for where that bolt is sitting right now, it should just slide right in. There's nothing stopping it from getting in there, except something else, the magazine or something like that.
Yeah, I got backwards in my head. So
Tony's saying the M3 should be fine because they have a built-in insertion stop. You can skip it on some of these guns. You can ram it past that insertion stop if you really ram it in there.
Yeah, I had Gen 3s, and it was pretty easy to over-insert.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you should be able to move back and forth with the mag in there and not have any like holding up or anything like that. And if you do, then when you hand load it every round, it does not have an issue. Yeah, I would contact Kodiak, especially if you're the first owner. Contact Kodiak, let them figure that out. That's their gun. You shouldn't have to troubleshoot it if it's fairly new. No point. And they'll fix it. Like, they'll ask some questions, and then they'll take it in, and they'll probably send you a new lower that's got the mag cut out in the right spot. Or the bolt. Maybe the bolt has, like, maybe it's too low and it's dragging against the magazine. But they'll be able to figure it out. YouTube comments. Kyle, do you want to hit those?
Sure. Actually, before we get to YouTube, we did have a question on Player. Regs is asking, question for Adriel. Ruger 1022 lube or no lube? Or dry lube?
I lube them. If they're dry, they start to jam right around 120 rounds. In my experience, that's the point in the day at a Mapleseed when I start to see dry Ruger 1022s jamming. So yeah, I lube them. If you over lube them, the extra lube will pick up carbon and make them real dirty, and then they're going to start having jamming problems again in about 100 rounds. But at least you're going to get another 100 rounds. So I lube mine. And the spots I lube, I got talked about this in one of my videos. The guide rod for the spring, I lube that. I put like a little bit of synthetic grease just along the bottom of the bolt where it rubs against the hammer, and top of the receiver, because sometimes the bolt like glides along that. So anywhere where there's like contact and friction, I just put like just a little bit of synthetic grease or frog lube or whatever on it, just to act as that. And then I try not to, if you overspray with this is what I do at Mapleseed events, just to get a gun back up and running, but I would never do it as like if I had the time. But if I don't have the time, I give her a spritz of this, and it works, gets the gun back up and running, but it's going to get dirty quick.
Yeah,
there's just not time to like take it apart and like, I'm just going to put a little bit of grease here, a little bit of grease there. Okay, now it's back up and running. Give it a little bit of Valstol, and away she goes.
Cool. We'll get into YouTube comments, and first comment is from Link, and he says he wishes we would be better at getting our content onto Rumble. YouTube is trash.
I thought we had Rumble. I thought Rumble like automatically picked it up.
I don't know. Don't watch stuff there. I've never used Rumble, so.
Radio.
Yeah.
It was supposed to automatically pick it up. This is why I don't do stuff on Rumble, because it was supposed to just do it for me. I'll take a look.
Okay. While you're looking, Tony was saying in his defense, first got to maximize $1. And more importantly to him, it's just principle. If Tenda wants apple to apple, I will give them apple to apple. You better come to the table matching all the conditions. It's just fair.
Yep.
And then we got Eddie taking a trip back. He says, on episode 513, SBI and the ST22. Adriel has 3 tokes. I guess you didn't sell them before the freeze. And I think you bought them just before the freeze, didn't you?
My aunt was getting her RPAL, so I bought a couple of guns that I was going to sell to her because I was getting good deals. Like the tokes were $100 a pop. Can't beat that, right? And I got small hands. I got that Norinco CF98 right here. Now they're mine forever.
They're forever guns. Eddie comments on episode 512. A bum stick. Is that for the alien to use in the Roswell match? And
I don't know what we're talking about.
No, I'd have to go back and listen to that to see the bum stick reference. And then back to episode 513. Eddie says 12.5-inch barrel is loud for hunting. If you run a 10.5-inch barrel in that chassis, make sure you have a hand stop at the end of your front stock. I agree. Then Tony commented on episode 515. Adriel, as I've mentioned before, you need to get a Lee APP press for the boys. They can deprime and swage all the primer pockets very quickly.
I was looking at one because I was buying that Lee stuff. I was going to buy it direct from Lee, but then a buddy of mine mentioned he's found the same stuff at Rusty Wood. So I'm like, oh, I'll get it from there. But I didn't look at their APP press.
Adriel or Tony also commented saying he was disappointed there was no campsite hangout with Adriel over the weekend.
Got to maintain my OPSEC. Can't have you guys knowing where I'm at all time.
That's funny.
And that is it for YouTube.
Nice.
The APP press is $188.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do that. I would rather put that money towards Dylan 600, 650.
Yeah.
If I get to that point. 223 prices are coming back down. Range view, I think. Someone had 223 on for 700. Getting better. Let's see. Instagram. Anything on Instagram, Facebook?
No, we had a comment on Facebook, but it was just in regards to he was having issues adding us on Instagram, but turns out he'd already tagged us. So
cool. Yeah. All right. Discord, we got one of those. People are commenting live on it right now as we speak. So if you want to chat with us, you can do so. Or Discord is where all the chatting's happening right now. So like live chat, they've got a really fantastic setup for service and that kind of thing. If you're interested, you can hop on there. And it also does like your video chats and audio chats and all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested, we have a link that's coming up on right now. And if not, go to the website and find it there. Or like bug one of us. We have a link on our Cabela's on our website that links to Cabela's. We'll let everyone know what people bought in July on our August 2nd show. So if you want to help out the show and you're going to buy something from Cabela's online anyways, go to the slamfireradio.com website, click on the side of the website to get to Cabela's. And when you purchase something, we will get a little kickback, a little taste, just a little taste. You don't have to pay anything extra. Cabela's just like, thanks, Slamfire. Thanks for sending that person over to us. Just slide some money into our pocket, and which we use for paying StreamYard and hosting and flights. Maybe we'll do some flights or a drive down to New Mexico next year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. If you'd like to support us, you can support us on Player or Patreon. If you'd like to email the show, send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. And finally, let's get to shoutouts. Kyle, do you want to do your shoutouts?
Sure. I want to shout out everybody who showed up to help set up on Saturday morning and then stuck around to help tear down. The went really good. And then shout out to Kevin and Tammy and Cavern City Action Shooters for sending us to the NRA banquet.
Cool. Mo?
I got nothing tonight.
All right. For me, Tom, just a great time as well in Kananaskis. He was my he was the other shoot boss out there with me. helping to put on that match. The RSO helped from the KGAC club. So day 2, they a couple of people who'd shot day 1, or they're like, "Do you need help for day 2?" I'm like, "Yeah, I would love to."
Oh,
So we
wow.
had them as line safety officers, which is fantastic because they shoot IPSC. They know what to look for. Oh, it was so good. It was
Good.
such a nice such nice help. And then my recommendation, Ben Stoger is on a tear, so he gets on these tears where he like posts everything to like Instagram and YouTube. He's on a tear right now. So he's got a bunch of stuff, and practical shooting group
Yeah.
also has a bunch of content that they've been posting up that's free. So if you're looking for information on the classifiers, like shooting the classifiers, they've got some thoughts on that. They've got some thoughts on moving quickly out of position. Some really good clips, and short too. So take a look at Ben Stoger's Instagram, YouTube, and then the practical shooting group, because there's some really good. He's like really no nonsense in those videos. He just kind of gets straight to it. Oh, they're so good. They'll be like 4 or 5 minutes a pop, and you learn something new with each one of them. Very good. Very. If you're into competitive shooting, definitely give them a watch. Down to like what stance you should have when you're shooting and you're going to do this, then what stance should you have so that you can do this next. It's really nicely broken down. Join our Discord server, watch us on Facebook, YouTube, and Player, and Odyssey, and maybe Rumble if they figure out their streaming thing, their syndication. I just enabled our Facebook for it. I don't know what that'll do. We'll find out. Join the CCFR, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Good night.